If you see anything suspicious, please tell a member of staff or the police.
Yes, my people, it is your boy VRD back with a bang. I know I have not done a commentated video in ages, an absolute lifetime, but I am back. I am back and active. I'm gonna do something completely different today. What I'm actually doing is what I'd like to call, what should I call this series? Should I call them concept drives? We're gonna go with concept drives. This is episode one of the concept drive series. So, as a lot of you will probably know, a lot of my rail historians from the south of England in particular, you'll remember that we had a service that went from Brighton up to, I believe it was Manchester or something. Brighton up to Clapham Junction, then along the West London line, I would assume, and then up the West Coast main line, and then eventually up to Manchester. And I believe that was operated by class 221, no, class 220s or something. I can't actually remember. I was too young at the time. I just remember seeing videos of it on YouTube. And before that, you obviously had the class 47s, I think it was. So this service no longer exists. I think it was removed in early 2000s at some point, maybe 2007, I believe. But I think they should bring it back. Like, imagine how convenient that would be going from the south of England up to the Midlands or whatnot without having to go through London. You'd completely be able to bypass central London, stay on one train for the entirety of the journey. That just sounds kind of like what Thameslink has done, where they've done the little Thameslink core section, meaning that trains can just go from the south of England up to the north of England without the passengers having to change or anything. I feel like that should exist for the Midlands as well. So I don't know. Maybe we can get a petition going or something. I'm not gonna waste too much time with the intro here, but yeah, that's more or less what this video is. This is a little semi-fictional run between Clapham Junction and Brighton in a class 395 Javelin. The reason I've chosen this train is because this is what I believe would be, well, this is the closest thing to the most suitable train that would be able to
Always
run.
try to
Oh
carry
my
hot
gosh.
water with you. If you feel faint, seek help at the next station. Do not use the emergency cord, as this may delay help reaching you.
Yeah, so this train is the closest thing to any suitable train that would be able to run on this route because as you know the class 395 Javelin has what is it, 15 kilovolt, no, 15 kilovolt. The overhead wires, I can't remember how much volts it is. They can run on overhead cables, but they can also run on 750 volt DC third rail. So that is why I've selected this train today. This train would have obviously come from the northwest of England somewhere down towards Shepherd's Bush, where it would have changed from the overhead cables to the third rail, and then it would have continued down here to Clapham. And as you know, the Brighton main line is only modelled up to London Victoria in Trainsim World, so we don't have the West London line. So that is where Clapham is where we're going to be picking up this service from. So let's jump in and get started. I'll go into more detail as we're driving along, but I didn't want to waste too much time on the intro there. I've already set everything up just to be a bit more convenient. Although I forgot to open the doors, which is a bit embarrassing. Right. Cool. So while our passengers are boarding, let's just go through our journey today. So I can't actually remember the stations that. Well, I'm saying I can't remember. I don't know, to be honest. I'm sure I could find out if I tried hard enough, but I don't actually know the stations that the original service would have called at. I know it definitely called at East Croydon, Haywards Heath, but I'd assume Gatwick Airport as well, but I actually don't know for certain. But on our journey today, we're going to be calling at. So we're going to be on the slow lines initially, crossing over to the fast lines at Balham, all the way down to our first stop at East Croydon, platform 3 to be precise. We're then going to continue down the fast lanes until just beyond Purley at a place known as, where the hell is Purley? There's Purley. Just beyond Purley, here at a place known as Stokesness Junction, where we're going to cross over onto the slow lines once again. And that is because we're going to be making a stop at Red Hill Station, just here. And I've requested that we be routed into platform 0 because I want to feel nice and special doing the little 40-mile-an-hour crossover and whatnot. So yeah, we're going to be calling that Red Hill Station platform 0. After that, back onto the fast lines down to our third stop, which will be Gatwick Airport platform, I think that's platform 5. Yeah, platform 5. After that, if we can eventually get there, Haywards Heath platform 3, I think. Yeah, that must be platform 3. And then finally, cricket noise. Here we are, finally, Brighton platform 5. So this is most likely going to take about an hour or so. So yeah, I might have to split the video into 2 parts. We'll have to just see what happens. But without further ado, let's get into it. We have a green signal here. So yeah, let's get going. We're gonna reset our driver reminder appliance. Shut these doors. There's our interlock there. Into forward, and I'm just gonna test out the whole start button as we move off here. Selecting notch 1 of power, giving it a couple seconds, releasing the whole start button, and train should begin to move forward. Yep, that is all functioning correctly. Gonna up it to notch 2. Speed limit at the moment is 20 miles an hour, so we don't need too much power. Raising to 60 miles an hour, not too far out from Clapham Junction Station. Just gonna have a sip of my latte here, keeping me nice and energized for the journey ahead. That's still quite hot. Oh, sorry guys. Shutting off power now. We're up to 20 miles an hour. You saw the little 60 sign there. So once the full length of our train has passed that, we will be clear to accelerate up to 60 miles an hour. And we don't have too long until we need to slow back down to 25 miles an hour for the cross onto the fast lines over there. So we're 6 carriages long, so I'm probably going to accelerate at this AWS magnet here. In fact, I'll just accelerate from now because we rolled down to 17 miles an hour. Yeah, full steam ahead. I should say full electric ahead, car. I ain't seen no steam train running along here in a minute. Yeah, man. So I decided to go with the 6 carriage class 395 Javelin. I already explained why I chose the 395, but as for the 6 carriages, I just felt like that would be a suitable length train to have running along here. I didn't want to go for 12 carriages because 12 carriages seems a bit overkill for a service that, if it was brought back, I don't think it would be too frequent. I'd probably, if I was in charge, I'd only have this running along here every couple of hours each day, and I probably wouldn't have it running on Sundays either, to be honest. Actually, then again, Sunday's a day where people tend to travel long distance, to be honest, when they're seeing their relatives for the weekend. So I don't know, maybe, but I definitely would only have it running every probably every 2-3 hours in each direction, because there's no need to have this as a, definitely not a half-hour service and an hourly service. Nah, no way. But yeah, I would love to see the service brought back. Honestly, it would be extremely convenient. We did get up to 60 miles an hour, but I'm gonna jump on the brakes here because, like I said, we are expecting to be crossed over onto the fast lanes here. You can see the signal with the position 4 junction indication lit up. Oh! Actually, no, we're good, we're good. I thought I was coming up on the 25 limit a bit too fast, but no, slowed down for that. Bang on. Beautiful work, beautiful. What was I talking about? I was talking about Saturn and I forgot. Gonna give it a notch one of power there because we are on a very steep upward gradient coming through Balham Station here, so our speed was continuing to roll down towards 20. Keeping it in notch one, and I'm gonna go into full power as we reach the end of the platform here at Balham, so we can be certain that we are clear of the 25 limit. 25 limit was only for the crossover. Speed limit for this section of track that we're now on is 70 miles per hour. So back into full power there. Yeah, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? What was I talking about? I think I was talking about the frequency of the service. So yeah, I'd probably have this about every 2 hours. That would be at its most frequent, but to be honest, even every 4 hours I think would be acceptable. There's just no need to have such a frequent service for a route like that. You know, Brighton up to Birmingham or Manchester or wherever. You know, just have it. Think of it as air travel. Like, just think of it as air travel. You know, there's no. It might be a very popular thing, but it's not like a commuter sort of thing. It's more like long distance, like visiting your family or something. So you can easily just you could have the service running every 3 or 4 hours, and then people could just plan their day based off of that. But unlike commuter trains, where people need to travel to work and stuff like that, then fair enough, your half hourly service is mandatory, but not for something like this. But yeah, I would love to let me just cut back on the power because we are approaching 70 miles an hour here. But yeah, I don't know if we can get a a petition going for this. I'm not gonna, actually I might do, but I don't know, I don't know nothing about stuff like that. But yeah, depending on the how well this video does, how viral it goes, you know, we could potentially start something massive here if it gets enough support, enough momentum going. You know, this video could be the, how would I word this, the catalyst. I'm gonna go with catalyst. This video could be the catalyst for the Brighton to West Midlands service being reinstated. I'm not sure what train they would use. They would probably have to build some new trains. Who would operate it? That would be that's another question. Who would actually operate that service? Could it be a Vanti? A Vanti? I think it would probably be a Vanti, to be honest, because I can't really. Who else? But yeah, they'd have to get some new trains built with third rail capabilities. That's the only thing. I'm pretty sure the class 395 Javelin is the only high speed train that has dual voltage capabilities. The only train that can travel at speeds of above 110 miles an hour with dual voltage capabilities. I can't think of any other train that is able to do that. There was obviously the old Eurostars, the class 373s back in the day, but one, they're not capable of that anymore. Two, they barely exist, and three, why would you have a class 373 comprising 20 carriages and doing that anyway? So yeah. Just bouncing between the power notches to maintain 70 miles an hour. It's a predominantly upward gradient between Balham and East Croydon, to be honest. It's just when you get to Solhurst that it levels out a bit. So yeah, you're gonna have to use some notches of power to maintain speed here. Although that being said, speed limit is about to go down to 60 miles an hour, so I'm gonna shut off power, get ready to brake. Not too far out from East Croydon now. just gonna tap on the brakes as we pass beneath that overbridge there. 60 mph speed limit commences just before Selhurst platform. So speed limit is now 60 mph. Taking another sip of that latte. Whew, that is gorgeous. Give it two notches of power, sorry. Fun fact, when you're referring to power, you obviously say notches. When you're referring to braking, you say steps. A lot of people think that it's the same thing, like notch. People think that you could say notch 1 of braking or step 1 of power, but no, it's actually there's actually a difference. And we're on the final approach to East Croydon Station here. Speed limit decreases to 45 mph just beyond this overbridge coming up, so I'm going to tap on the brakes now. 47, 46, 45 mph, bang on. Momentarily releasing and then back into braking for the platform that is coming up now. Going for about 30 mph on entry. 32 mph, close enough. Reducing that back down to minimal braking there, although I'm probably gonna have to up it again to about 60% or so. Yeah, we're coming in a tad too hot, so I'm just upping the power a bit. Stopping position for 6 carriage trains at East Croydon. There's no stop boarding trains in World, annoyingly, but I believe it's around here. Yeah, in line with the little ramp that comes down from the main concourse. I think that's where a 6 carriage train would stop in reality. Oh, so yeah, full service, neutral, door release on the left. East Croydon Station, my people. East Croydon Station. We're not gonna hang about here for too long. Oh, excuse me. Right, let's go and move on. We have a green signal. Getting those doors closed. I find it annoying that the door interlock light illuminates straight away on the class 395 in Trainsim World. That happened after the Trainsim World 3 update, the Southeastern High Speed extended update. Because I remember I had the original Southeastern High Speed route for Trainsim World 2, and it never used to do that. Although that route was of worse quality. I don't know if anyone remembers, but yeah, that I was playing it since it first came out, so obviously when it first came out, it was like the best thing ever. But then as time progressed, I just its flaws became more pronounced. I'm being very dangerous gambling with these big words that I'm using. I'm risking using them incorrectly, which is very embarrassing, and I've done that before in my videos. So forgive me. I'm just trying to sound as articulate as possible. Speed limit leaving East Croydon Station 45, going up to 60 as we speak. Just waiting for the full length of our train to pass that 60 board that you may or may not have seen because it was quite small. That should have happened by now. So back into full power. Next station, Red Hill. Just cutting back on the power a bit as we get closer to 60 miles an hour, but as you can see, speed limit is now increasing to 90 miles an hour. That was South Croydon Station that we just passed through there. So again, waiting for the full length of our train to be clear, which should have happened by now. So back into full power. And we're not going to be traveling at this speed for quite long because, as I've previously stated, we're going to be crossing over onto the slow lines at Stoke-Ness Junction, which is about, I'd say, 2 miles from here. So yeah, not too far from here. We're gonna have to get the brakes on. Well, that was an interesting occurrence. We had the two electro stars coming towards us, traveling at a similar speed. One on the slow lines, one on the fast lines. They were in line with each other, well, almost in line with each other. So it generated a bit of an illusion. Quite satisfying. There goes the driver safety device. Sorry, driver's vigilance device. Driver safety device and driver's vigilance device are two separate things. A lot of people don't know that. Driver safety device being the system where the driver has to constantly keep his foot pressed down on the pedal, and the vigilance device being the alert that sounds every minute if no controller input is detected. Right, so we're passing through Purley Station. The next signal that we are going to come across should have a position 1 junction indication telling us that we are being routed over Stoke-Ness Junction onto these slow lines. And the speed limit for that move is 70 miles an hour. We're currently doing 77 miles an hour, so I'll shut off the power from now. We don't have to do any serious braking. There's a signal that I was talking about. Jump on the brakes now. Whoop. Yeah. Enter the crossover about 2 miles an hour above the speed limit there. I was expecting it to be a bit further away from the signal than it actually was, but that wasn't a major overspeed. Nothing to be concerned about, and nothing that management will chase us up about. So we're all good. Speed limit is now 80 miles an hour, shortly reducing to 75 miles an hour just before the next station, which is Coulsdon South. We're currently doing 68 miles an hour, so we don't have any braking to worry about. Just cutting back on the power as we approach 75 miles an hour. We are on an upward gradient as we approach, what's this tunnel called? Merstham Tunnel. So between East Croydon and Merstham Tunnel, it's an upward gradient, continuous upward gradient that gets steeper around the Coulsdon area. Once you enter Merstham Tunnel, and it's the same thing on the fast lines, the quarry lines. So once you enter Quarry Tunnel, the gradient hits the summit, and then you'll be downwards pretty much all the way into Gatwick Airport. Speed limit's just gone up to 90 miles an hour as well. There was a very tiny speed board that I doubt anyone saw. Yeah, with a lot of these speed limits, you have to know where the speed limit commences from, rather than looking out for the speed boards, because more times than not you're just gonna end up not seeing them. So yeah, it's very important that you memorize the location of where the new speed limit commences from. What I actually feel like doing in my videos is adding annotations, so you guys as the viewers can sort of you have a bit more information of what's going on regarding the speed limits, because I'm a HUD-less player. I don't like the HUD at all. I feel like it deducts from the immersion, the gameplay experience. So I don't use the HUD in my videos, but I can understand that isn't too ideal for someone that is watching the video and would like to have a bit of information regarding my driving technique and whatnot. Because a lot of the time you won't even know what notch of power I'm in or what the current speed limit is. So yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything I can do about that. But yeah, the speed limit's about to go down to 80 miles an hour. Just tapping on the brakes a bit. I'm actually going to decelerate to about 77 or so, then release the brakes, because we are now on a downward gradient. So there's the 80 board there. Again, very tiny and difficult to make out. This is Merstham Station. Next station is Red Hill, and as previously stated, we are due into platform 0 at Red Hill. So we're gonna have to slow down for the 40 mile an hour crossover, about half a mile out from the station. The crossover is situated half a mile out from the station. No, we don't have to. I'm not saying we have to slow down half a mile out from the station. We're probably gonna have to slow down from about now, but the crossover is situated half a mile out from the station. If we started slowing down half a mile out from the station, there'd be problems. In fact, even now I feel like I left that a bit too late. Yeah, let's up the braking a bit. Woo! 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 Okay, 5 miles an hour above the speed limit. Again, wasn't a major overspeed. Yeah, we'd get away with that. Also, we have a single yellow signal, so I believe, yeah, the red signal is at the end of the platform at Red Hill. So what I'm now doing is aiming to be traveling at 20 miles an hour as we pass over the AWS magnet associated with the aforementioned red signal at the end of the platform. You can see it coming up now. And we're going to aim to come to a stand towards the end of the platform here. There we are, arrival at Red Hill Station. So maximum braking, neutral, and we do have a red signal, so setting the driver reminder appliance and opening the doors on the right hand side. And I believe this red signal is because of this southeastern service that was in our way. So yep, now that that southeastern service is clear of the junction just over there, we now have a double yellow signal with M routing indicator, the M standing for mainline, I think. So yeah, we're not going to hang about here at Red Hill. Let's get the doors shut. So this is a double yellow signal. This tells us that the next 2 signal spaces ahead are clear. Well, it's changed to a green now, so we now know that at least the next 3 signal spaces are clear. So there was most likely a train at the Earlswood crossover that was crossing our path, but that's probably cleared now, which is why this is changed to a green aspect. I'm explaining this as if my viewers don't already know this. Anyway, let's get a move on. We got a 15 limit as we exit Red Hill Station here. Next station is Gatwick Airport, my people. Next station, Gatwick Airport. Let's shut off our power from now because we are still in a downward gradient, I believe. Can I just say I absolutely love this new free roam mode that they've added into Train Sim World. Even though it's been out for quite a while now, I'd say I only started really getting into it last month, and it's a game changer. No pun intended, but yeah, it is. I can't lie, it is something else. Just the operational variety that you now have access to that you didn't previously have access to, and the signaling system in Train Sim World is quite versatile as well, unlike in Train Sim Classic where I've said this in some of my previous videos, you'd be assigned to a route, assigned to a path, and you'd keep that path no matter what. In Train Sim World, your path will get cut off, sacrificed, and other trains will be prioritized over you, and it makes things a lot more interesting. Anyway, speed limit is now, what is it, 75 or 70 through here? I think it's 75. However, we've just passed a signal with position 1 junction indication telling us that we are being routed back onto the fast lines at, I think this is Earlswood Junction here, Earlswood North Junction or something. Speed limit for that move is 30 miles an hour, so I've accelerated up to that now. You can see the 30 board there with the arrow pointing to the left, telling us that the speed limit for the crossover is indeed 30 miles an hour. And if we were continuing straight, of course, 70 or 75. Once we are clear of the crossover, we'll be clear to accelerate up to 90 miles an hour. So you can see the 90 board that we just passed there. So we should definitely be clear of the crossover by now, so selecting full power. And we've got quite a bit of a run down to Gatwick Airport, so yeah, there's not really a lot to do now, so just sit back and enjoy the ride. I do think I'm gonna have to split this video into 2 parts, unfortunately, so that's most likely gonna happen at Gatwick Airport. The reason for that is because I still edit on Share Factory. I can't be bothered to use a USB device and export the videos from my PlayStation onto my computer or my phone and then edit it there. I just find it easier and more convenient to edit on Share Factory. Once I grow my channel a bit, then I can potentially venture into that, or even possibly just pay someone to edit for me. But for now, with my little small channel, I'm just gonna stick to editing on Share Factory, because Share Factory is it's a very convenient application, piece of software to be using, especially when you get the hang of it. It's a bit complicated at first, especially using a controller, but once you get the hang of it and you build up the muscle memory for editing the videos, it's literally, you can edit videos in the blink of an eye, to be honest. So yeah. And I didn't even get to the main point that I was trying to make. But yeah, with Share Factory, the maximum length of videos you can upload at any one time is 60 minutes. So a lot of the time, that's why you'll see my videos are split into two parts is because if they were just one whole video, then the entirety of that video would exceed 60 minutes. So they have to therefore be broken down into two parts. With the two-part videos, each part will tend to be over 30 minutes in duration. So we just passed through Salford Station. I'm going to shut off the power at 87 miles an hour, and that is due to the fact that we are on a very shallow downward gradient at the moment into Gatwick Airport. So in a Javelin it might be a different story, but I know for a fact that on a class 377 or 375, 387 I should say, 375s don't really run along here, your speed will slowly roll up towards 90 traveling on this section of track heading into Gatwick. So just shut off the power before to give you a bit of rolling space. Although we are coming up on Hawley Station right now, so we're gonna need to make a brake application soon. We've got ourselves a double yellow signal as well, so that tells us that we do have a red signal at the end of Gatwick Airport platform. This is Hawley Station now. I'm gonna make my brake application as we enter the platform here at Hawley. Hawley and Gatwick Airport are not too far apart at all. I think it's less than a mile, to be honest. Just keeping an eye on my speed, making sure that it's coming down in time. You can see we've been routed into platform 5 at Gatwick Airport. It's a bit of a unique signal there, protecting Gatwick Airport Station. It has the feather route indications, but it also has the numerical display. A lot of the time it's either one or the other, but that signal has both for some reason. Like I said, we have a red signal at the end of the platform, although I can see it in the distance and it appears to have cleared to I think that's a single yellow. So I no longer need to slow down to 20 miles an hour for the AWS magnet. I'm not entirely sure where the 6 carriage stopping position is at Gatwick Airport Station on platform 5. The first stop mark you'll come across is the 8 carriage stop mark, so I'm just gonna stop at that. Here it is coming up now. Just aiming to put that in the window on the left there. If anyone drives Javelins in reality, tell me if this is the correct way to stop one of them. I don't know if you would stop with the stop board in the window or in the corner of the windscreen like a tax disc, because I know on the class 801s, the class 800 series, they stop with the stop boards in the corner of the windscreen there, but with the Javelins I don't know if it's different or not, so someone let me know please. Anyway, full service neutral, get the doors open before the passengers get concerned. Gatwick Airport Station. So I'm probably gonna split the video into 2 parts like I said. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching part 1 of this concept drive. Constructive feedback and criticism is more than welcome in the comment section below and is highly appreciated. But yeah guys, let me know what you think about this so far. I'd honestly love to see the service brought back, as I said before, and if we get enough support going, I think that can definitely happen. So yeah, let's get a bit of engagement going on in the comment section, a bit of a discussion happening. But I'll catch you guys in part 2. Love.